In the previous lecture, we looked at the basic elements that are available to us in Weebly. In this lecture, we're going to look at the more advanced elements. We have structure, we have media, we have e-commerce, and we have more elements. So, I've created a new page here on my website, and I've inserted a title and some text. Now, perhaps I want to insert a divider. A divider element allows you to add a gray divider line to a page on your website. This can be useful for dividing chunks of information that need to be on the same page, but still separated more than just space. So, the divider element can be used to go all the way across the page or to separate smaller chunks of information in columns. The divider element is used like all other elements. I just simply drag it and drop it where I want the divider line to be. Now let's say, for example, I don't want to use a divider line, so I delete this, and instead I want to put space between my title and my text. To do that, I use the spacer element. So the same thing, I drag the spacer element over to my web page and I drop it where I want, and you see now we have additional space added between the title section and the text. Weebly now has also a new structure element called section. So my text here, or the gray highlighted area, is all considered a section. If I want to add a new section, I drag the section element and I place it where I want the section to be added. So this blue line shows me it's going to be added below my existing section. And now I've got a whole separate section that I can work with and do whatever I want. I can add elements. I can change the background to be different from the previous section. There are many things I can do here. I can check the section layout and operate this entire section totally separate from the previous section. So just to give us a simple example to just demonstrate the difference, let's just change the background of this particular section. We'll add some color. So let's just drag this to a color, pick a color, and now you can see that I have a section here and a separate section here. Alright, now let's look at the media elements. The first two media elements, HD video and audio, you notice have a orange lightning bolt on them. That means that in order to use those elements, you must upgrade your Weebly plan to a paid plan. So for the purposes of this website, we will omit using the HD video and audio elements. Okay, I've made my section a little bit bigger here. Now let's look at the document element. The document element allows you to upload a document to your page. Unlike the file element, which will be covered shortly, the document element allows readers to view the document in real time on the page without having to download it. So for example, I click on the document and I drag it to my section here, and you see the instruction. This is a blank document. To upload a new document, click here and select new file. So I click and I upload a new file. I want to upload it from the computer, so let's go to my current course here, which is English 422, and I can upload my bio, for example. Don't worry about this message saying sorry we can't display this document. As you can see, Weebly is transforming this document into a format that can be viewed on the web page, And now, as you can see, my bio is here. Now, this isn't scrollable because it's in an edit window. But if I were to click on publish and publish my website, and then go to the actual website, tkitty.weebly.com, you'll see that if I go to new page, we've got the title and example that we had here, and in our second section, now this document is scrollable. And I can also zoom in or zoom out. This button would also give me the ability to download the document. The next element that we want to look at is the YouTube element. The YouTube element allows you to embed a YouTube video into a page on your website. So to do that, let's get rid of this document element and let's drag the YouTube element to our section. And in order to add a YouTube video, we click on the window, we put in a URL, and we can make adjusting here, left, center, or right line adjusting, and some other techniques as well, but we won't worry about those right now. And then we hit enter. I'm sorry. No, that's right. And then we have an embedded YouTube video that we can play right here directly on our web page. So if once again I publish and go to my web page and do a refresh, and you'll see now the video is here, the YouTube, which I can then play. Hello. Welcome to our series using the Flash element. The next element allows you to embed a Flash animation to your website. In order to use this feature, you must have a file with an SWF extension, which is the extension used for Shockwave Flash files. The next element is the file element. The file element allows you to upload a file to your page that users can download. Unlike the document element, which was discussed earlier, the file element does not allow you to preview the file. It simply places a download link to the file on your page. So let's delete the YouTube video and let's use the file element. And as you see, I can upload a file. Let's click the same one we used before and open it, and now you notice on my web page, instead of the actual file being embedded and displayable, the only thing we have here is a link to download the file. Next, we have the e-commerce elements. The e-commerce elements can be used if your purpose is to build a website on which to sell items. While these elements are free to use, you probably will not need to use them for the purposes of your website in this course. Thus, I will not cover them here. So now let's look at more elements. The first element in this category, the search box, is a paid feature. Therefore, it will not be covered in this class, nor will you need to use it for your website project in this class. The next is the block quote. The block quote element allows you to include a block quote on your web page. This element is useful if you have a chunk of quoted text that you want to include on your web page. You can see an example here. So we take the block quote, move it, and I've already copied some text, so I paste it here, and now we've got a block quote on our web page. The next element is the social icons element. As I'm sure you've seen on many web pages, the icons indicate which of the major social media platforms a website may support or link to. So the social icon elements allow you to include various social media icons to your website's page. Once you drag the element to your page, you can click each individual icon to customize the links. In addition, you can choose to add or remove social media icons. So I click here and I can manage. I can make it active by going to a specific Facebook page. I can show or hide it. And of course, I can decide whether or not I want to add other ones that are currently not here. The next element is the RSV form element. The RSVP form allows you to include a form for visitors to RSVP to an event. Much like the contact form element discussed earlier in the previous lecture, when the RSVP form is selected, the gray panel to the left of your Weebly site will show different ways to edit the RSVP form, as you see here. The next element is the survey element. The survey form allows you to include a form with questions of your choosing for visitors to fill out upon viewing the page. Much like the RSVP form, you can edit the form and change the questions. So here we have default questions. I can click on this and I can change the name of the question. I can change the options. I can also indicate whether or not the question is required. I can add instructions and spacing. And when I have finished creating my survey, I can also look here on View Entries to see the responses that people have given to my survey. Also, like the Forms page, you can see over here I have new form fields that I can use to help complete the form. The final element in the More section is the Google AdSense. If I drag this over to my section, I get some instructions here. Google AdSense helps you generate revenue from your website by automatically showing contextual ads targeted to your site content. Weebly does not take any cut from the revenue generated. To set up Google AdSense, connect your account by clicking Authorize. So if you want Google Ads to appear on your website, this would be the way to do that. I personally don't want that, so I'm going to hit Cancel. And that concludes the lecture on using additional elements or advanced elements in Weebly.